means a lot. Yeah, still just getting everything set up. Tell me if I need to adjust the audio at all. I'm playing around with some different settings today. All right. All right, that's better. Let's get started. I have my March themed teacup right here with daffodils on it, and that's going to be our theme for today. Daffodil, it's the birthday flower of the month of March, and considering my birthday is tomorrow, I thought I would treat myself a little bit and do something with my favorite flower. My sharpener's still missing, so I still have to improvise, but you know, I don't really mind. There we go. Blow all that off. And let's get started. I just need to check one final thing. Oh, thank you. You like the saucer? I'm so glad. I think it's very pretty too. Let me just get the stream link and share that a couple places. Alright, that's all that taken care of. Let's get started. There, that's a nice line of motion. I like that. I want to give her a hat today because spring is all about hats. So I need to account for a little bit more space at the top of the page than normal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. All right. I'll get the body pose figured out, then I'll worry about the head. Hello, Merely Meep Sheep. Yes, it is my birthday. Well, it technically, tomorrow is my birthday, but, the stream's today, so, yeah, I decided that I should celebrate it today. Thank you for the happy birthday wishes. Being able to celebrate my birthday with people who I care about is, I don't know, that's probably my favorite part of the day. Leg's still a little long. I'll fix it later. Oh, Colorbug, hello, welcome. Thank you for the birthday wishes. It's tomorrow, but I'm working tomorrow, so I thought it'd be best to celebrate with everyone today. Colorbug, what is your favorite cookie? It's difficult to say. I like chocolate chip cookies, but only if they're fresh out of the oven. Otherwise, I don't like them. So I think my favorite cookie of all time would have to be, I like chocolate cookies a lot. Not chocolate chip, but chocolate. I had a chocolate cookie that had like, what did it have on it? It had like, this frosting on it, and it was so good because the cookie was so thick, but then the frosting was nice and light. It was delicious. What about you, Colorbug? What's your favorite cookie? You know, despite what it may look like, there are definitely some downsides to not using a sharpener to sharpen your pencil. Raspberry white chocolate? Oh, that sounds delicious. That sounds like a delicious kind of cookie. So yeah, today's drawing inspiration is the flower of the month, the daffodil. It's one of my favorite flowers, and I don't know, I think as far as bud flower or bulb flowers go, like tulips and dahlias and irises, daffodils are the ones that get the least amount of love, and that's something that's really sad to me. So since it is technically the day that I'm celebrating my birthday and the flower of the month, I decided that I want to celebrate the daffodil a little bit. I'm making peaches and cream oatmeal. Peaches and cream oatmeal cookies? Oh, can you mail some to me? Those sound amazing. I love peaches. Let's see here. Just adding some fullness to the chest. I generally draw figures that are a little less full, but it is the spirit of spring, and you know, I'm all about the variety and the diversity of the human form, so I think that honestly every body type out there is beautiful and has its own assets that make it lovely, and I think it's about time that people in the fashion industry stopped promoting just one body type, because all of us are beautiful in our own way, and I want to be able to show that with my designs. looks like this pencil needs a little bit of a sharpen again. There we go. Let's see here. Daffodils have a trumpet-shaped base skirt, or a trumpet-shaped center. So let's add that. A nice flaring trumpet skirt. And some petal-shaped straps for the chest and the arms. Let's see, what sort of shoes do we think a daffodil would wear? They're very slender. But the trumpet on them is giving me more wedge-heeled vibes. Or platform vibes. because straps are always pretty. I like that diagonal seam there, that's nice. Oh, hello, Mishmashy. What am I sketching today? I am sketching a dress inspired by the flower of the month, a daffodil. It's my favorite flower and it's my birthday, so that means I get to do whatever I want. Well, maybe not whatever I want, but... Oh, yeah, I mean, I agree. I think your birthday's the one day out of the year when you have an excuse to do whatever you want, so if you have the option, you should definitely take it. Just adding a train back here, seeing how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about it if I'm being honest, but looks kind of cool. Yeah, add some more dimension to it. adding some decorations to the hat. Just trying to figure out what I want to do with this other foot. I know I need to add another foot, and I always hate doing that. Worry about it for now. I'll just finish up our pretty lady's pretty face. Time to erase all the non-essential lines. And brush everything off. gotta make sure I can see all these details down here and then we can get started. Alright, time to add the first wash of paint. It's always such a nice feeling to have the sketch all done. Let's see, what color do I want to use today? Here it is. I'm going to use cadmium yellow today, which, fun fact, is actually toxic. Now, don't worry, it's not going to it's not going to harm me or anything, but it does have some lead in it, which makes it a lead paint and toxic. Now, that's not something unique to this paint. All cadmium is toxic. All real cadmium paint, I should say. There are cadmium hues that don't have the real lead in them. And there's some debate about using that in the artistic community, because on the one hand, it is non-toxic, and having something non-toxic around is always good. But on the other hand, you are using different chemicals in order to create the same thing. As a naturally occurring element, which sometimes can cause something even worse than the original poison. But yeah, I don't want to get you all involved in the ethics debate involving paint pigments. Let's see, you should draw a sushi themed drawing sometime. Yeah, I think a sushi themed drawing would be lots of fun. There's so many different kinds of sushi that it would be difficult to pick. I could see myself doing a 2 or 3 part series of different kinds of sushi. That sounds like something that would be a lot of fun. Can you take a bite? I'm assuming you mean from the lead paint, and well, I haven't tried it, so I can't say for certain, but I'm pretty sure that would be bad for your health. If you do take a bite though, let me know how it goes. Try not to put toxic chemicals into random stuff challenge. Yeah, you know, it's funny. I actually have, this is the second paint I've used on stream, I think, that's been toxic. The first one was my manganese blue, and that's actually even more toxic than this stuff is. But again, it's not, the toxins are all contained in the pigment and then in the water once I apply it. So it's not the same as if I was an oil painter where I'd be breathing in the toxic fumes. Alright, well that first coat of paint dries. It's tea time. Yeah, it's really funny all the different things that people have put in paint, or all the different toxic things that people have put in things. Tea time, It's a cinnamon licorice today. Look at that lovely color. That's some delicious tea. Yes, the tea is yellow. I promise I didn't plan it either. Nice and hot. Helped Broom. If you were a doctor, you'd tell the teapot to drink more water. Yeah, I know. The teapot probably would need some more water, huh? But I can assure all of you that it is perfectly normal tea with a delicious cinnamon licorice flavor. Or is it? Everything is so lemon. Yeah, well, yellow is the theme for today. Oh, you want to drink the paint water, helped Broom? Yeah, well, I'm sorry, but I don't think it'd be good for you to succumb to lead poisoning. Besides, if my tea... Oh, you want to see the tea next to the paint water? Alright. Well, I will say this, if the teapot needs to drink more water, then I think my dirty water glass needs to go to the ER. Still a little wet. The lead and mercury is fighting for control in your system, help Broom? Well, I hope you don't add any more strength to their numbers in that case. Sounds like it's already quite a tough fight. Oh, I read that completely wrong? I'm sorry. Let me see. The lead and mercury in my system fighting for control. Well, I am focused on my tea. Sorry if I read your comment wrong. Tasty, tasty tea. Oh! I see. So it's like a Godzilla and Kong thing. The lead and the mercury are fighting for control. Uh-huh. And you're just sitting on the sidelines like a... What's her name? What's the morally questionable love interest for Kong in these movies? Anyway, whatever her name is, your body is acting like that. Yeah, Jane. I think Jane's her name. Well, for my sake, I hope neither the Godzilla Mercury or the King Kong Lead win out, and your body can live a nice, healthy life. It's still a little wet, but I think I can get started. I'm getting some orange paint here, my favorite orange paint, and nobody freak out. King Kong Percy Jackson video game for the PS2 is an amazing game. I've never heard of that before. It sounds like it would be a good game. I just never expected that to be a crossover. Huh. I wonder what it would... There was a King Kong Percy Jackson. I mean, I know there's a Percy Jackson movie. It's the newer one with the Bug Canyon. I don't know. After the abomination that was the first Percy Jackson movie, I stopped really looking at any adaptations of it. Oh, Peter Jackson. All right. All right. Never mind. Looks like I'm misreading all sorts of things today. What I'm doing right now, believe it or not, is putting down a base coat for the skin color. Believe it or not, I found the most realistic way to replicate darker skin with watercolors is to put down a sort of warm blushy tone underneath, either a red or an orange, and then put brown on over top. It just creates this beautiful living look to the skin that you wouldn't get otherwise. I think a mistake a lot of artists make when they first try and paint someone with a darker complexion is they go straight to the brown, and well, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. It can make the skin look a little lifeless, because even if someone has darker skin, their skin isn't exclusively brown. There are always more pigments at play than that. So it can make the skin look a little lifeless just using one pigment. But that is a personal side tangent. Don't worry, everyone. We won't have a carrot woman on our hands for very long. I just need to let this color dry and then we'll get her some beautiful rich skin. Come on. There we go. Just gotta make sure this is sitting nice. There we go. Beautiful. I think darker skin tones and the color yellow are something that just looks so beautiful together, and I think it's a shame they aren't put together more frequently because they are stunning. Still drying. So much of this really is just playing the waiting game. It's both a good and a bad thing when it comes to the process of working with natural, or not natural, but traditional paint. Can I make it dry faster? Well, there are certain things that some artists use, like a hairdryer, for example. But the trouble with using a hairdryer, I've found, is, well, for one, it makes awful noise. I mean, the sound of my computer fans are bad enough. Can you imagine adding an actual hairdryer on top of that? But along with the issue with having a hairdryer, and it making lots of noise, there's also the fact that it could change the way that the paint's drying into something that I don't want. So letting it dry naturally is the most reliable option to get consistent art results, even if it does take a little longer. So to answer your question, yes, there are ways to make it dry faster, but all of those ways also come with so many cons that I prefer to just let it dry naturally. Besides, after getting the initial layers of paint done, things are normally dry enough in some area that I can always work somewhere. It's just the first layer that's really the challenge. Guess you need patience, Grasshopper. Yeah, I know that's from an old movie, but I can't remember which movie it's from, but yes, working with traditional art, it doesn't matter what medium it is, requires a lot of patience. But you know, in this modern world where everything is so fast-paced and everything's constantly moving, having something that forces you to slow down and take your time, be deliberate, is a good thing to have in your life. I think so anyway. I'm so happy you agree, Mishmashy. I think too many people are in a rush to, well, rush through everything, even their own lives they seem to rush through, and what's the point of living if you can't enjoy your own life? Enjoy the journey, yes, Mishmashy. It's not always about the destination. Sometimes it's about enjoying how you get there. I'm just testing. I'm looking forward to when color bug. Should I make bugs out of silverware or cardboard? I don't know. I think either could work. I imagine working with silverware would be more difficult than cardboard, but I don't know what the process really involves. I suppose if you're testing out anything you're unsure of, you should do the easier method first. But if you know exactly what you're doing, then I'd say jump headlong into it and do whatever will give you the results you like the best. I'm just cleaning off my brush. No matter how much I rinse it, there seems to be a bit of the green paint from last week left in it. Maybe that's my recompense for using so much green last week. But it was so much fun! long now, Carrot Lady will finally be no more. Just gotta move this out of the... Oh dear. I just wanted to move my quill back a little bit so I didn't get paint on it. And I knocked the microphone instead. Alright. Moment of truth here. Wow. I've done it before, but I get amazed every time I add the second coat of paint. What color did I add? I added a mixture of brown and black. It's my trick for painting darker skin tones. I found a lot of artists will add, will just paint with brown to get dark browns or darker skin tones. But especially in the case of skin, it's not one even color, and in skin that has more pigment in it, it's much more, it looks much more flat if you just paint it with one color. So by adding the coat of orange first, it adds some, it's imitating the veins that are under the skin. So by adding the orange, it gives it this sort of glowing, lit from within, natural warmth to it that real skin has, and just makes everything look so lifelike. I think so anyway. Let's see, Colorbug, I know both are cool looking and equally challenging. About the cardboard I could paint and the metal I could engrave cool designs. Well, I think if it were me, I would pick the metal for your project, but I am a sucker for metal as well. I love metal accents and designs and details on clothes, so I think you should pick your favorite. Oh, it looks like we have someone agreeing in chat to the metal idea. Oh, metal it is. Well, I hope I'll be able to see it. It sounds like a really cool project. I hope you don't get blisters this time. Blisters suck. They're awful, so I truly hope you don't get blisters this time either. Now just to think of more things to do while that layer of skin dries. You know, I honestly think part of the reason most fashion designers don't do their sketches on darker colored croquets. It's a French word, it's difficult to say. Is because of the extra time it takes to wait for the extra time and ink it takes to color them in. But I'm not about that here. I think that everyone's beauty should be represented. Fits well with the slow fashion movement. I agree, Mishmashy. I think that it's become far too commonplace in our society to choose what's easy instead of what's right. And that's just really sad to me. But you can't change everyone's mind, and as much as I'd like to, I can't affect everyone either. But I can control what I do myself and the sorts of things that I endorse and don't endorse. So with that in mind, I can have some effect. And if I can have some effect on the world, then that's enough for me. Going to add a gradient to this part of the skirt. Just making sure everything's wet beforehand so the color blends in well. And let's see, I wanted to add a touch of the orange and a touch of the yellow. I like that. I just need to make it a little more pigmented. Orange, yellow. I should have done yellow, orange. But you live, you learn. You know, the reason daffodils are one of my favorite plants is because they are actually toxic. Now, they aren't deadly in most cases, they just cause a little bit of nausea, inflammation, that sort of thing when ingested, but they are a little toxic. So it's just something to be mindful of when you're planting a garden. If you have, you know, animals or young children around, to not let them eat certain bulbs and things. And the bulbs of daffodils look a lot like onions. Oh, toxic plants, toxic paints. Yeah, it's sort of a theme, but there's really no... the toxin contained in daffodils is something that could never compare to the toxin in lead. The toxic in daffodils is more acute, but it's nowhere near as potent as the toxin in lead. Just adding a nice gradient, because daffodils actually do have quite a bit of not only variety in their color, but a beautiful gradient to their bells sometimes, and I really want to represent that in this piece, or try to anyways. There we go, I like that. Now let's see. Is it... Oh, you like the gradient. I'm so glad. Just going to grab more of this color and thin it out a little bit, and let's see, is everything... Dang it, it's still a little wet up there. Well, I'll be able to work on her hat a little bit. While that dries, I think it's time for a second cup of tea. Delicious. Cinnamon has got to be one of my favorite flavors in the world. Let me put that back in its proper place. Yeah, daffodils have a toxin in them that not only means they shouldn't be eaten, but really you shouldn't put them in a vase with other flowers either. Because if you put the daffodil in a vase with most other flowers, so you know, peonies, roses, tulips, really anything you can think of, the poisonous enzymes in the daffodil will leak out from the stem into the water and contaminate it and cause the other flowers in the vase to wither very quickly. So you should keep daffodils on their own, otherwise they will kill the plants that they're with. But there is an exception to this. Irises not only can withstand the toxin in daffodils, but are actually made more beautiful and vibrant and bloom longer when put in a vase alongside daffodils. And that's just something that's always made me love them so much, how they can be something that is toxic to most things, but have a beautiful relationship where they not only don't harm, but increase the longevity and health of a certain plant. And I always just thought things like that were so beautiful. To think that something that is harmful to most things can almost be considered loving towards another. I don't know, maybe it's a lesson about how it's not always about if you are a good person or a bad person, but instead, if you are good for a certain person or for a certain situation. Because even though the daffodil is toxic to most plants, it brings out the beauty of the iris, and likewise, even if you don't fit in with many people, I'm sure the people that you do fit in with are, their lives are better for it. Delicious tea. Well, I think that's enough philosophy from me. The second tea break is just about over. Then I should get back to painting. time to get back to it. I used too much water making this gradient and now it's taking a while to dry, but that's all right. All right. Enough lazing around. That's right. We need more yellow. More yellow stat. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Yellow is such a stunning color, especially on darker skin tones. It's a color that I think designers shy away from a lot because it can be a difficult color for people to wear, but on the right person and with the right design, there are few things more stunning than a vibrant yellow. I mean, it's the color of sunshine, it's the color of daffodils, which are some of the first flowers we get to see in the spring. It's the color of sunflowers. It's the color most people associate with happiness and health and warmth and energy. And needless to say, this time of year, I think, aside from perhaps green, there isn't a color that's more symbolic of spring than yellow. Should I make the glove yellow too, this lighter yellow color, or should I leave it white? I was originally going to leave it white, but, or I guess I could make it an orange gradient like the skirt, but would that be too much of a gradient? Let me know. I can't decide. White? Yeah, it is pretty with the white. I'm just worried you can't even see what her hand's doing here, and sure, I can outline it. I suppose I'll leave it white. I can always add color later if I decide after the inking it needs it. But you can't take away colors from a traditional piece in the same way that you can from a digital one, so I'll have to be careful with my decision. that's done. I think for the most part the base colors are in, so I can actually start inking. At least some spots. Some places will still need a bit more time. There we are. Now to grab my inking pens. Let's see if my 0.2 pen wants to cooperate today. Oh, welcome back, 0.2 pen. It's good to have you back on board. Look at that. Beautiful. I always get stunned whenever I add the first little bits of line art. I know how much it can affect a piece, but still, getting to see it for the first time is always something special. Oh boy. I can fix it. I got so into the inking that I forgot this part of the drawing was still wet. There we go, all fixed. Pardon me if I turn it a little bit, but sometimes that's necessary while doing the inking process to make sure everything lines up correctly. There we are. Let's see. Still a little wet. There we go. Just adding the feathers to her lovely hat. Spring is the season for hats, that's for sure. Mishmashi, I like hats, but they make my head hurt. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. To be honest, some of the more extravagant hats that I've worn have made my head hurt too, so you're not alone in that. I hope that there are some hats that you can wear, but if not, that's okay too. As beautiful as they are, at the end of the day, they're just an accessory. There we go. And let's see. I can finish inking the bodice now by the looks of it. That's exciting. actually didn't realize it until I was inking, but I made a bit of a mistake with her one shoulder, but that's alright. A little marking will be enough to fix it. I just need to grab my handy dandy paint pens and it'll be like it was never there. Alright, might have to build that up a little bit, but that's alright. In the meantime, I can keep inking. Looks like it's dry enough down here for me to do the shoes. Sorry I've gotten quiet. I've just really been focusing on inking in this sketch. Alright, let's add another layer to cover up that little mistake. There we go. Mishmashy, what's my favorite type of accessory? Well, I have a metal allergy, so as much as I would love to say earrings, I don't get the chance to wear them very often because of my allergy. So I think my favorite accessory would have to be necklaces, or honestly, I like having my nails done too. But I don't know if nails count as an accessory, so I would have to say I like necklaces and I like brooches, things that don't irritate my skin. What about you, Mishmashy? What's your favorite sort of accessory? Necklaces? Or jewelry of some sort? Yeah, I think necklaces are very easy to style. My second favorite would probably be hats. I love how much a hat can accentuate an outfit, like with this dress, but they can be simply such a hassle to style and make presentable with the outfit you're wearing. So as much as I love them, I don't think they're the best for everyday wear. Unless you're someone who's willing to own many, many hats, which there's nothing wrong with that either. There we go, got my pen working again. This pen's on its last legs, but I keep forgetting to buy more, so it might be a while before I can replace it. Oh, you like fun shoes, but your feet don't always fit them? Yeah, I used to like having super fun shoes for accessories, but the more I've grown, the less my feet have really appreciated most standard shoe sizes, so these days I don't really wear anything fun. But if I could have them fit, I would love to wear fun shoes. Yeah, that's sort of the issue with most fun shoes, isn't it? As beautiful as they are, after about an hour of wearing them, you're just so ready to be done that it doesn't matter how pretty they are. Really gotta focus to do her face justice. There we are. Now I'm going to try something I haven't done before for her hair. I'm using my brush ink pen and I'm going to fill in large areas of black with it. So nice and creamy. It really is a lovely feeling. What I'm doing here is I'm just trying to make a very simplified version of a cornrow. There we are. And we're done. Let's see, I don't think I've missed anything else. Let me just touch up this shoulder a final time. I suppose I can add a touch of shading. It really doesn't need much with the colors I've already added, but a little bit won't hurt. And a touch of shading to the inner part of the skirt in here. I'm just mixing in whatever color into the shading, really. It's just important that it looks darker and duller than anything on the outside of the skirt, and it will look nice and shadowed. There we go. And I'm just seeing now a little bit of a mistake that I want to fix. There we go. we're done. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely evening, whatever you plan on doing. I hope you are having a good March. Considering it's my birthday month, I hope that everyone has a good March, and I hope you have a good rest of your week as well, and whatever you do. Thank you, Mishmashy. Well, it's having everyone here for the live stream has already made it quite a wonderful birthday, and I'm sure it will continue to be a wonderful birthday going forward. Just finishing up the last of my tea here and admiring my work. I'm quite proud of it. All right. Now that I've finished my tea, time for the final look at the piece. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a good rest of your evening. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all next week. Take care now. Bye-bye.